After the success of the Nutrition Symposium, we decided to follow up. I have the pleasure to introduce two guests from Food Services for the Yonkers Public Schools. I would like to welcome Ms. Mayer, Director of Food Services, and Ms. Malgiri, Manager of Administration. We also have members of the Roosevelt community with us. Lauren Krieger, who is a 10th grader here, Ms. German, who's a science teacher, and Ms. Familaro, who is a health teacher. Ms. German and Ms. Familaro, how did the Nutrition Symposium get started?
Well, 3 years ago, I had a nutrition class, and my husband brought to my attention that the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics basically celebrate National Nutrition Month, and this happens every year. So I thought about basically creating a problem-based project with my students, and the students worked in groups. Each group had a question, and then they actually spend some time doing research on the questions, and we're very excited to promote good, healthy eating habits.
When I attended the symposium, I saw that the students were very engaged with the activities. I would like to say thank you for your efforts, and now we would like to open the discussion.
My first question is, how does the district assess what we like to eat or what we don't like to eat, and how do they determine what goes into our schools?
Well, that's done in two ways. It's done formally and informally. I have supervisors who roam about the district making direct observations of what's being picked up, what's not. I personally also go out into the buildings, and one of the things that I do is I actually check the garbage containers. Mrs. Malgieri was with me today, so I know what you're eating and what you're not eating and what you like and what you don't. Informally, it would be through conversations like we're having right now. Maybe I'll be in a building and I'll go out and I'll sit. I actually have lunch with children. I sit down, little kids and high school students, and ask them what's working, what's not working. So it's both formally through my job and those who work with me, and informally through conversations.
One of the biggest struggles as a health teacher, I find, is that my students will learn the material on nutrition, and then unfortunately they'll go to the cafeteria and make unhealthy choices regarding choosing potato chips or choosing cookies and milk as their lunch. And they do this not only once a week, but they'll do this every day. So my biggest concern would be, how can we change our average student who is now only eating cookies and milk for lunch? How can we change it so that they're eating much more variety and getting all the nutrients they need per meal?
Okay, well, my real concern would be, what about the fresh fruit component? Where's the fiber? What about the vegetable component? So I think to get students to step off the snack line and get onto the meal line, I think we have to do some more work on the menus, and perhaps one of the goals, actually I met with the Cornell Cooperative Extension yesterday. I think we need to get the message out. I think we need more menu boards, we need more conversations. I need to reach students to let them know that we do have taste tests, that we do have recipe development. I think we need to connect better. I think the message needs to get out there. Things aren't what they once were.
And I think one of the other things we're trying to do is to visit schools to say, what can students do to become part of the discussion about nutrition? So in some schools have a garden next door, and we're working on, to the extent that we can under federal and state guidelines, use, for instance, the herbs that they might grow in that garden as part of the menu in the cafeteria, because then students will see the actual results of their work. So that's really exciting. And Ms. Meyer is willing and obviously credentialed to come into class to talk about nutrition and to find out from students whether they have new ideas. We get our best ideas from students, and many of the menu items that they see on the menu actually came from students. And you want to give some examples?
Yeah, sure. One of the schools, one of the elementary schools actually just won an award for making a change to a more healthy living style. They're exercising more, they're eating more healthy, and they have a recipe book. And I volunteered to take a couple of the recipes and cook it for the students in that entire school. So that day, that school won't be eating the citywide menu. So we could do that here at this building as well. If you wanted to come up with a nutrition committee or a menu design committee.
How can we, like, as a school, become healthier eaters, and how can we, like, change our diets? Or we can have, like, a little challenge. Oh, we, like, make out your meal plan or something, and whoever's is like the best can get it shown to you guys and see how it is approved and all that stuff.
All you have to do is invite me in.